these reports that Iran is considering closing the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, we've heard this before, and it's threatened to be the case in the past. How serious are they this time, do you think?
Well, I think that you have to take them seriously because you could see the impact that the Houthi rebels had on shipping through the Red Sea. They have just the threat, even though there's very few recent attacks on shipping in that region. Nevertheless, the threat has sent the vast majority of container trade moving around the south of Africa. That's been happening for the past year. The ocean carriers have no plans to go back en masse into the Red Sea, and so the very threat of military activity around a narrow, important routing like the Strait of Hormuz is going to be enough to significantly disrupt shipping.
Yeah, indeed. Dan, come in on this.
So let me ask, just how disruptive could this be? Could you paint a picture of what might happen across the sector, across the industry, if we do see the Strait of Hormuz actually shutting down and Tehran and its proxies make good on this really significant threat, perhaps the most significant throughout the course of this conflict so far?
Well, everything that you've been reporting just in the last few minutes is indicating what the effect on the oil markets would be, because a third of oil is moving through the Strait of Hormuz. We have to remember that it would also have a serious impact on other sectors of shipping. Take containers, for example. Even though just less than 5% of containers are moving through the Strait of Hormuz, nevertheless, there have been, any disruption to that region. Certainly, the main ports of Jebel Ali and Abu Dhabi, which handle respectively 20 million and 5 million TEUs, would be all but shut down if this occurred. That type of disruption would happen on top of what is already a very, very disrupted global container system, with very severe congestion in Shanghai, the world's largest container port, very severe congestion in Northern Europe due to labor troubles, the likelihood of congestion in North America because of the fact that 30 to 40% of U.S.-China or China to U.S. containers essentially stopped in early April after the 145% tariffs were put on China, only to then restart in the neighborhood of a month later. That scrambled vessels, it scrambled containers, it drove freight rates up, it elongated supply chains for retailers and manufacturers and any other company using the container system for their supply chain.
So that indeed is a worst case scenario. Walk me through what you're seeing in the Strait right now. Are you seeing any evidence of delays or rerouting or premiums going up as a result of what's unfolding right now?
Yes, there's been a number of indications that shipping companies are starting to shy away from using the Strait, and so even though there has been no assaults on ships that I've heard of. Maybe something has happened just within the last few hours. Nevertheless, the threat of attacks on shipping is already beginning to affect the decisions of shipping companies in terms of where they're routing their vessels, where they're positioning their vessels, that kind of thing.
And Peter, just to understand what the market is very nervous about right now, you were talking about premiums going up and so on, but doesn't it also hurt Iran's own economic self-defense or interest? Because what I was reading is Iran does rely on the Strait for its own oil exports as well as imports of some of the goods that it actually needs.
So absolutely, and that has been the counter argument to the question of whether Iran would, effectively shut the Strait of Hormuz, which they are able to do by threatening shipping through the Strait. So their oil exports transit the Strait of Hormuz, their consumer products that are transiting the strait would for sure affect their economy. So no question that's going to be part of their calculus. Nevertheless, over the weekend they were threatening to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. So it depends on where it fits into their calculus in this escalating military conflict with Israel.
So, Peter, I mean, no surprise, if shippers are starting right now in the here now to start shying away from using the Strait of Hormuz. We'd also be surprised if freight rates start to go up, insurance goes up, and the whole lot, because we've seen this repeated before with the whole Red Sea debacle, right? What I want to try and figure out from you as we go along here is would you agree that for Iran it would be self-defeating, right, if they were to close that? Because as Sherry pointed out, look, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They can't get the oil out, can't make revenues, and geopolitically, and we have to be thinking about this as well, they do that, oil spikes. It's almost inviting a response, and probably a hard one from the U.S.
So you may very well be right, and Iran may and will calculate the impact of a Strait of Hormuz closure on their exports and on their ability to generate a foreign exchange and on their ability to get consumer products into the country. No question, it would affect their economy. But you got to remember, in an active, escalating regional military conflict, it's not possible really to predict how important that is going to be to the leadership of Iran. And so that's the reason why we're talking right now about the possibility of the Strait of Hormuz being closed, because we simply do not know which way they will go.